Kansas City Chiefs fell to the Detroit Lions 24-23 at the Hayfield at Arrowhead Stadium on Saturday afternoon. But despite the final score, the preseason matchup wasn't without its memorable moments. At the top of that list was a behind-the-back pass executed by quarterback Patrick Mahomes late in the first quarter. Facing a 3rd and 3 in Lions' territory, Mahomes rolled to his right before zipping a pass behind his back and into the arms of tight end Travis Kelce, who quickly picked up 8 yards. The play, which Mahomes has tinkered with over the last 2 years at training camp, elicited a roar from the crowd akin to a playoff game amidst what was otherwise just an exhibition matchup. We had a play called, it was an RPO play, and Travis was supposed to run an out route, Mahomes said. I pulled the ball from the running back, but Travis wasn't out there, so I was going to run for it, but then I just threw it to him. It wasn't how it was drawn up, but I've always said that it has to happen naturally. I can't force it. Improvisation or not, head coach Andy Reid was just happy it worked. I'm glad he completed it, Reid said. That was a good thing. The pass was part of an exciting and productive outing by the Chiefs offense, which has scored on each of its first 3 possessions. Mahomes, who led 2 drives, completed 8 of 14 passes for 93 yards on the day, finding rookie wide receiver Xavier Worthy for a 39-yard gain on the Chiefs' 3rd play from scrimmage. It was a tremendous example of what the first-round pick can bring to Kansas City's offense in 2024. And just a bit later, Worthy was back at it with a 22-yard touchdown catch from quarterback Carson Wentz. It was super important to get him involved. We were focusing on that early and trying to get him some routes where he could go out there and win, Mahomes said. We wanted him to go out there and get some confidence going. Worthy's touchdown meant that Kansas City scored the first 13 points of the game. But Detroit managed to tally 3 scoring drives prior to halftime that pulled the Lions within 4 points at the break. Detroit proceeded to chip away at the deficit over the final 2 quarters. And despite an electric 64-yard touchdown by wide receiver Cornell Powell midway through the 4th quarter, the Lions converted a 43-yard go-ahead field goal as time expired to take their first lead of the game and escape with the victory. Regardless, from Mahomes' behind the back, paced nobody in the game to Powell's touchdown later on. There was still plenty to be excited about on Saturday as the Chiefs continue to prepare for the 2024 campaign. That was true for the defensive and special teams units too, as Kansas City forced 3 turnovers over the course of the game. Linebacker Cam Jones was responsible for the Chiefs' first takeaway when he jarred the ball loose from Lions return man Jalen Calhoun during kickoff coverage. Running back Carson Steele fell on the loose ball, and 3 plays later, Wentz found Worthy in the end zone for a 22-yard touchdown. It was one of 2 fumbled recoveries for Kansas City, as defensive end Truman Jones also recovered a fumble late in the game. Cornerback Keith Taylor tallied an interception as well. Next up, the Chiefs will close out the preseason against the Chicago Bears on Thursday night, as the regular season continues to inch closer by the day.
Well, he did it. You said on the TV broadcast it wasn't the way it's supposed to work. So just talking through it again.
Yeah, no, we had a play called where it was an RPO play and Travis was supposed to run an out route. We had the leverage we wanted. I should have known because he asked me what he had as he was motioning over. You can see him kind of look back at me. I thought I told him and it was going to be open, so I pulled it, and then he wasn't out there, so I was going to run for it, and of course he was blocking, and then he just turned around and I just threw it to him. So it wasn't how it was drawn up, but I always told you it has to happen naturally. I can't force it, and I did it, and then I actually forgot about it, and then as the game went on, they asked me about it. I was like, oh yeah, it probably looked pretty cool, but I haven't actually got to see it yet.
Yeah, do you think it, for lack of a better term, will liberate you to do it more? You've done it in the game, even just a preseason game.
Not necessarily. I think it's just naturally got to happen. If you look at that play, I'm not gonna say it's the only way you can make that throw, but it was kind of it would have been hard for me to kind of turn and throw it back across above the 2 guys chasing me. I think so. We'll see when we get on film, but it's not something that I'm going to try to major in. It might be something that just kind of happens every once in a while.
When you let it go, what did it feel like? It was.
I knew it was low. I was just hoping it got to Travis. I knew it was kind of on target. It just was low. But like I said, it wasn't like I didn't do it to look cool. I literally did it as I was pissed. I was like, why didn't you run that route like that? And then it just worked out.
You
You guys talked going into the game about getting Xavier involved. How important is it a thing like this to just kind of prove to himself each game he won, right?
Yeah, no, it was super important. I mean, obviously you saw that we were kind of majoring in that early, trying to get him some routes where he can go out there and win, and then getting Rashid involved a little bit. It's you got to find that right balance because you want to not put him in too much harm's way, but you want him to go out there and get some confidence going. And so I was glad to get both those guys going early. Obviously you want to score touchdowns. I thought we did good drives, kind of stalled out there in the red zone. But hopefully when you game plan a little bit, you can get those ones into the end zone. And it was good to see Carson hit him on that route. And that route wasn't necessarily called for Xavier. It was just kind of an alert and versus that coverage, and it worked out perfectly.
Can you explain that? That wasn't his route?
Yeah, he was kind of I say the best way is like a clear out route for the other guys, but if you get that kind of man type of coverage look, you need the guy. You have to trust that guy's going to win, and obviously you can see that he won and got that touchdown, and that's good for me to see because then maybe as the game goes on, the year goes on, maybe get a similar type situation and know that he can win versus that one-on-one man coverage is something that I can kind of put in the cabinet, knowing that I can maybe bring out later in the year.
That pass that you had to Justin Watson over the middle, like it seemed like Xavier kind of cleared out.
Mm-hmm.
What's just the benefit of his speed being able to do that?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, it's y'all saw it in training camp, and you can see it already in the game. Is once you hit him over the top with that speed, it helps open up the whole entire football field. And so, like you said, if I was looking right through Xavier on that play, knowing that same type of thing. It's an alert that I kind of look at, and if they get the right coverage, go to him, and he clears out I think 2 or 3 guys, and then you can hit J-Watt there in that kind of medium type range. And so it's going to help everybody in the entire offense. Having him, having Hollywood, having Rashid being able to break loose, and so it opens up the entire offense, which is something that I think will be big for us this year.
I think it was the second or third play of the first series, trying to go down the sideline to Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a similar situation?
That was just one-on-one. I mean, we're just seeing where we're at. You know, you get one-on-one. You're not going to win every rep, but I'm going to try to put it out there. And even though it didn't work, you know that it gets noted by the defense. I mean, they see it, and they're like, all right, we want to play that coverage, knowing that they will take the chance and throw it deep. And so you just got to know the right time and the right place for it. Obviously, the defense won that rep, but at the same time, you show that we're willing to throw the ball down the field. Yeah, no, I think he's going to be a lot better this year, honestly. I mean, just the way he's able to run routes, it was coming along at the end of last year, but he worked on it this whole offseason, and he's in great shape. He's coming in, he's running great routes. I mean, even one of the plays I looked to the left and it wasn't covered, and he was kind of the backside, and he won against a guy man-to-man coverage, caught the ball, and makes the positive play. And those are the little things I think he's going to continue to get better and better at. He can always work in space and catch the ball and run and explosive, which is super important. I think he's getting better and better of just winning one-on-one and winning with routes, and I think that's going to help his game go to that next level.
Pass catchers and they're brought along slow. It seems like Xavier's catching on quick, but football IQ wise,
Yeah, no, we were talking about it even when he was injured there in the OTA periods. He was sitting there listening and absorbing that knowledge, and it's hard to really for you to let people see that, but you could tell he was picking it up quickly, and then he got out there and he was able to go out there and make stuff happen. There's still little things here and there that we talk through and work through, but at the same time, it seems like he doesn't make those same mistakes twice, and he learns, picks that stuff up, and tries to be better the next time. So it's something that there's high expectations on him. I think he's doing a great job in the process of building, and I think he's gonna make a lot of big impact plays for us. But I mean, we have other guys too that are gonna help him, so there's not too much pressure on him to make plays every single game.